Hi there, my name is Colby Cook and I'm graduating from Smithfield High School, and next fall I will be attending Randolph College where I'll be studying communications and sports management. Choosing an educator who has had a significant impact on my life was very easy for me. Without a doubt, that would be Matt Moore. Over the past 4 years, Moore has been my coach, marketing teacher, DECA sponsor, tennis opponent, doubles partner, mentor, and friend. I first met Coach Moore my freshman year when he was asked to be our tennis coach. Never had I ever met someone quite like him. He operated on his own time schedule and always had about 100 things going per minute, but his coaching style was encouraging and incorporated brutal honesty. During matches, I would often hear him across multiple courts yelling things like, "What was that, Colby? Was that even a tennis hit?" And "That was probably the worst tennis I've ever seen in my life." He motivated me to become a better tennis player because who really wants those things yelled out loud? Truly, I never doubted that Coach Moore cared about us and the future of our team, and I owe him a great deal for what he has done to strengthen my game. Due to conflicting positions, he had to step down at the end of the year, but I was lucky enough to have him as a marketing teacher my sophomore year. The real fun, however, started my junior year. This is when I realized that Moore has this unique ability to drag me into school activities which I never would have otherwise joined. Moore had been on my tail since freshman year to run cross country in order to stay in shape for tennis. After 380 times of me refusing to run, he asked me to be the team manager, and how hard can that be? As I attended practice after practice, I found that I was often running just as much as the cross-country athletes and knew that he had basically tricked me into this. I'd never run so much in my life, and while I might not have appreciated it at the time, I sure was in shape and had more to thank for that. What was funny about this experience was that I slowly realized that I was managing Matt Moore just as much as I was managing the cross-country team. If you know more, then you know what I'm talking about. Another activity that Moore conned me into joining that year was DECA. That fall, Moore asked if I wanted to join DECA and take part in the regional competition. I said no thanks. Then Moore stopped asking me and instead told me that I'd be joining DECA. He gave me the permission slip to take home and get signed. I said no thanks again and threw it away. Then Moore called my mother and told her that I was doing DECA. My mother, of course, joined Team Moore and signed up to be a chaperone, and before I knew it, I was registered for the DECA regional competition. I have to admit that I did end up enjoying my cross-country and DECA experiences, neither of which would have happened if it wasn't for Moore not taking no as an answer. What makes Coach Moore stand out so much for me, though, had to be during my senior year when I ended up being his student assistant athletic director. This started very passive, as he called me one day over summer to help with a welcome back teacher's breakfast. This slowly turned into a full-time gig as I was at the school almost every day at the end of the summer working with Moore to make sure the fall sports ran seamlessly. Once school started, I would spend most afternoons and evening with Moore at the school helping with sporting events, sometimes there until 10 o'clock at night with him. I rarely went home, and on a good week, I saw Moore about twice as much as my own family. He expected a great deal from me, and when someone gives you this kind of responsibility, it makes you want to be a better person and it makes you want to succeed. The last thing I ever wanted to do was disappoint him. He drove me to be the best person that I could be. Not only did this experience shape my senior year, but it also shaped my future. Because of the experiences I learned mentoring under Moore, I now am considering an athletic administration career. One last influence that Moore had on me involves my immediate future. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be playing tennis at Randolph College. Last summer, I was doing the usual college tour rounds, visiting all the large state schools, when I was on my way to George Mason and he called me to play tennis. When I told him where I was and why I couldn't play, he said, "Well, why are you there? You can't play D1 tennis." Up until that moment, I had not even considered the possibility of playing tennis in college. With Moore's help and encouragement, I went on to recruit myself to various colleges around the state and soon found a Randolph College where I'll be playing for the next 4 years. To end, I want to thank Matt Moore for being such a huge part of my high school years. Coach Moore, thank you for not being afraid to be hard on me when I make and still make stupid mistakes. Thank you for making me step out of my comfort zone over and over. Thank you for believing in me, and thank you for having an impact in my life.